darkness, death, the endless ravages of space. All of these are words for the unknown, otherwise known as the occult. Of course, one must be wary when approaching the studies of the occult, but I shall keep you safe, for I am your guide, Dr. Stroganbeef, Van Helsing, E. Rerickson, Blackwing the Third. Chapter 1. Demons. When approaching demons, one must recognize that you will still need to deal damage to the opponent, even if we're doing a Halloween-themed deck. And as such, Bang, Read to Fight can lead your demons into action. Aside from being thematic, and a zombie herself, Frankenstein, if you will, she has a wonderful ability of being able to give any green card on your field that's level 3 or higher Lancer once per turn, but only if you put all of the cards of your Elrigs under it. That's right, you'll need to level up your Elrigs very fast in order to get your Bang Read to Fight ready for action. It will also energize you at the beginning of your combat once per turn, which goes perfect with some green cards that we might be playing in this deck. The first thing you'll need to know is that we're going to take advantage of Demon's most powerful abilities using the Devil's Carnival piece. This has a very strict requirement of having to put 2 demons on your field into their owner's trash. If you do, you gain the following ability for the duration of the game. At the end of your turn, add target demon Signy from your trash to your hand. This unparalleled trash recursion effect will allow you as a demon deck to plan for your next turn at the end of your turn, keeping cards in your hand at any point that you need to scare your opponent to death. If that's not enough, we also pack 1 Burning Curiosity in the Elrig deck because the deck needs a little bit more push to finish the game out. This could be changed to a draw card should you need to find other demon pieces. Our first assist Elrig is a spooky bat known as Machina. Machina has the ability to bring a level 1 Signy from your trash to your hand, a very important trick to do with Devil's Carnival, as we will discuss later in this guide. Vanishing also is important because it allows you to really play a more aggressive game plan, which works for demons as they want to be more proactive than reactive. Machina Smash gives you a little bit more late-game defense, while simultaneously being able to give you back another card for your hand, perhaps a green level 3 Signy to give Lancer to. Following that, we also are playing with one of the spookiest witches in Wixoss, Ange. Yes, Ange gives you more push in your Elrig deck than you could imagine, with not only its level 1 being able to bounce a Signy to the hand, but level 2 being able to bounce 2 Signys. This works perfectly well with Bang's ability to give Lancer as well. Since it only can bounce 2 Signys, you can Lancer on the 3rd and still have 3 lanes of attack. Moving along into the main deck, we have 3 terrible demon Signys that are the core of the deck, and the whole reason you'd end up playing this in the first place. The first is Andrea's Blessed Evil. It has an enter ability of discarding a card. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal a demon Signy from among them, and then add it to your hand. You put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. It also has a life burst of target Signy. Your opponent's field gains the constant ability this Signy can't attack until end of turn, and then you draw a card. Ah, yes, this is probably one of our best level 1 Demon Signies, as it gives this deck an unparalleled amount of filtering to find exactly what it needs. To back it up, less important but equally as good, is Equil, Blessed Evil. It has an enter effect of pay 1 Enter, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal any Demon Signy from among them, and add it to your hand. Put the rest of the bottom in the deck of any order. This, you'll be doing both of these specifically on turn 1 to search for Vassigos. If you can start the turn with 2 Vassigos in hand, for whatever reason, you will be very blessed for the rest of your game. Vassigo, Jade Evil, has the ability of Auto. When the Signy is put into the trash from the field by a cost or effect, you enter charge 1. Its enter ability is also somewhat relevant. Of target Signy on your field gets plus 3,000 powers till end of turn. Put the top card of your deck into your trash. Again, this helps by allowing you to have more things in your trash for recursion later. It's also green, which helps with the enter, and the power boost can help on any of your Signies to allow Lancer to go through. But the main draw for it is if it were to be trashed by a cost or effect, like Devil's Carnival, you'll be able to enter charge 1. Our level 2 selection in the mid-game shall be Paimon, Doomed Evil. It's a level 2 black Signy with 5,000 power that allows you to, whenever it attacks, you may put a Signy on your field into its owner's trash. If you do, target Signy on your opponent's field gets negative 5,000 power till end of turn. Yes, a free removal effect. Free, other than you open a lane for yourself and potentially take damage, but we're demons here. We attack. We don't care about the repercussions. The other level 2 is Orthrus, Jade Evil. It's a level 2 green Signy with the power of 12,000. That's huge for a level 2. But what cost, you might ask, when the Signy is vanished? You enter charge 1. You say, that's not a cost. What's the cost? I'm signing a devil contract. Well, it's your opponent may enter charge 1, but again, with this type of deck, we don't care that we're enabling our opponents. We're going to let them die of fright. And potentially also killing them with damage like Paimon's damage. Which also, we have the Life Burst effect of this level 2 Signy. We may pay colorless. If we do, we may vanish target Signy on the opponent's field. Any Signy, regardless of its level or its power, we may vanish it. Parajulius is also here to round out our level 2 action slots, even though it's a level 1, because Parajulius Phantom, Aquatic Beast, so spooky, so phantom, is a level 1 with whenever the Signy attacks, if one or more cards was moved to your deck to the enter zone from this turn, you may pay green colorless. If you do, vanish target Signy on your opponent's field with power 8,000 or less, paired out with a Paimon to kill basically anything on the opponent's field. And if you manage to enter charge off of your Vassigo, you'll be able to perhaps do this effect as early as turn 1 or 2, depending. So spooky. Kill your opponents with fright. Our level 3 selection is Osa Getsun, Phantom Terra Beast God, and let's remember, it's a ghost! I mean, it's a Terra Beast. It is definitely a Terra Beast, everyone, just to be clear here. It's not a demon. But it's a ghost! The Phantom! Look at all the spooky on the art! It has a power of 12,000 power, and when this Signy attacks, if one or more cards have been moved from your deck to the enter zone this turn, you may pay green and colorless. If you do, vanish target Signy on your opponent's field with power 12,000 or more. Its enter effect allows up to 2 target Signys to get plus 5,000 power till end of turn. You can do that on your opponents, trick them into thinking their Signy is amazing, and then go ahead and vanish it with its ability. It also pairs nicely with Bang, being that Bang enter charges on your attack phase, and if the way these stack, you can always take the advantage. Speaking of Bang, you also have Bear, Jade Evil. Now this may seem innocent enough as a vanilla until you realize its power is 13,000. Yes, the power is so big and you are putting Lancer on it, and it can kill anything. Hell, it can even kill an H2O, one of the scariest Signy of all, and still deal damage to the opponent. It also has the Life Burst effect of vanish target Signy on your opponent's field with 5,000 or more. Aside from level 1s, that's basically everything in Wixoss. The last card that we're playing is Aberaki, Jade Evil Queen. It's got Lancer itself. You don't need to put Lancer on it with Bang, but you could, and it wouldn't do anything, but you could. It also has an auto ability. It's a terrible one. It comes at a steep cost of, at the beginning of your attack phase, put the Signy on the field into the trash, unless you pay colorless. It's not that great, but if you need to play a Signy in order to get that third lane open, it potentially is the one that you want, especially since we should have a fair amount of Ener, being that we are playing green in this deck after all. And you have the ability to recur it with Devil's Carnival, so while this mostly will be Ener itself, sometimes it may come out to frighten your opponents. To finish out our deck, we shall use Animirage Doomed Evil, also a demon, I might add, very often forgotten, but it is a ancient demon coming from set 00. It has the Rise ability where you can put it on any of the Signy that you control. It has an enter ability of spending colorless. Target Signy on your opponent's field gets negative 8,000 power till end of turn. It has a wonderful life burst. Target Signy without guard from your trash can be brought back to your hand or put onto the field. It allows you to do some very spooky things on its own, and since we are playing a fair amount of trash things here, you should have the wide gambit of things. Some of the spookiest turn 1s is when you get hit by the opponent and you don't have any trash to play from this effect, but you'll always have trash when you're playing Devil's Carnival, since you'll be trashing things on turn 1. Plus it's a 13,000. Huge! We also play two copies of Black Pack, which costs black, green. Target Signy on your opponent's field gets negative 10,000 power till end of turn. Target Signy on your field gets 10,000 power until end of turn. It also has a very good life burst, and I'm not actually making a joke, it is a very good life burst, of vanishing target level 1 on your opponent's field, or Ener Charging 2. That's the main reason we're playing the deck, but should you care to change this to being a cheaper removal spell, so that way you can hit your opponents at a discount, you could always take out the Aberaki and swap it for a amino acid, which, let's just talk about how evil acid is, and then swap Black Pack for Reptile Digger. You can do that too, it's all your choices, but as I said, this is not just a showing the demons, it's not a Necronomicon. I'm going to show you how one plays with this deck. In fact, what you're looking for is always having a turn 1 with a Quill, or Andreas, more importantly probably Andreas, to try to get as many Vasicos into your opening hand as possible. You want anywhere from 1 to 2 Vasicos in your opening hand. If you're lucky, you don't have to play any of these white ones and just have 2 Vasicos in your hand to start. You go ahead and play out a combo of either Andreas and Vasico, or Vasico, and then you sacrifice both as your payment to Devil's Carnival. Devil's Carnival allows you to then, from here on, be able to recur any demon you wish from the trash. At this point, if you're on the attack, you could, for example, bring Machina out here, wing slash away the opponent's thing, and bring back an Andreas to allow yourself to set up for future spooky turns. And then at the end of the turn, you can take Devil's Carnival to bring back the Vasico. Bringing back a Vasico at this point is quite important, not necessarily because you're planning to sacrifice it again, though you could. You're looking to bring back it for green Enner, such the spookiest of all Enner, maybe with the exception of black and probably red. But the spookiest of all Enner, aside from those colors, because the deck doesn't run very much green, and you need to make sure you still hit your green Enners. Then, with this, you can then play the game as you wish, with multitudes of choices to toolbox from your trash. Here's some popular choices I would suggest. You can bring back Andreas, if you wish to make sure that you have a certain setup for next turn, or you just need to make sure your hand is good. If you wish to get more damage in the late game, you could bring back Vasico or Paimon. This will allow you to deal more mid-range damage, and eventually take out some of your opponent's life class. Likewise, if you're looking for more late-game damage, you could bring back Anna Mirage. And if you bring back Anna Mirage, you'll be able to have a basically recurable removal spell. If you need Lancer or Green Enner, you could always pick back Vasico, but you could also pick back Bear Jade Evil, a perfect Demon Lancer target. This is the deck in total. It is here for you to see all of the ones-ofs and the twos-ofs. I also may have missed... Yeah, there's the guards, and we're using the spooky guard artwork. The scariest of guards, guard with a hat. I think it's a VTuber that I don't actually know much about. But yeah, this one... If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want to see other spooky deck suggestions, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. Drop this one a like because I put a lot more effort into this than I do in my normal videos. And to follow it up, if you have a demon build of your own that you wish to add to the Necronomicon, leave a comment below and tell us what you would use to make this demon deck function.